Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zeng here, and today I actually didn't have enough time to record an episode of Road to Ranks, and there's Pokemon GL maintenance, and I wanted to get a video up to keep it up with daily uploads, so I'm actually going over one of the old save battle videos that I have. This is from the March International Challenge, so not from the one that recently took place, but the one a couple months ago, and this one is against one of the top European players, Luca P, who got top 16 at Worlds last year. He was using Jamie Boyd's team, who we actually featured on Road to Rank way back. You may remember with the Raichu, the Togetic, some fun stuff. I was using the Bronzong Dual Primal team with Mega Mawile at the time, and it was a really fun battle. So, not going to say too much more. If you enjoyed the battle, definitely please show your support by leaving a like in the video. And yeah, let's just jump into it. And quickly, I do want to say that I was today working on some pre-nationals content. So tomorrow, there will be a kind of 40-minute podcast between me and Wolfie Glick talking about what you should expect of nationals, what top players we expect to do well, and advice to some newer players and some fun shenanigans. So that'll be fun. It's my first time doing some kind of stuff like that, so look out for that in tomorrow afternoon. And then I also did a podcast with Matt Dorrell, who was one of the commentators at the European Nationals, as well as James Beck and RP in the house, or Ricardo, a really cool guy. So look forward to those. I'll link those in the description below in future videos, but today we're going to do this battle with Luca. So these battles don't offer as much insight, unfortunately, but I figure for those that might still be interested in at least seeing a cool VGC 16 battle would be fun. And yeah, let's just get into this one. So I opted to bring the Dual Primals and Mega Mawile because against Kyogre and Rayquaza, sure, Mence is good, but when Gengar is a factor as well, Mawile can get a Sucker Punch off before Kyogre can Water Spout, and then maybe I can go for a Trick Room. So that was what I was hoping for. I go with my Bronzong and Mawile lead, but this isn't ideal here. I do get an Intimidate off, but that does absolutely nothing against Luca's lead here. And Kyogre obviously puts on immense pressure with Water Spout. Obviously, I can switch into Groudon at any point and negate the water-type attacks, but I always have to be considering the option that Luca has, which is just switch into Rayquaza and Water Spout or Scald. So I'm always keeping that in my head, and that's why Kyogre is such a scary team and why I expect to see it do well at US Nationals. We've seen some really solid Kyogre variants. So turn 1 here, I'm just going to Mega Evolve, and I'm expecting basically all the plays possible. He can go for a Water Spout and switch into Rayquaza, or he can Taunt and Water Spout. So I go for a Sucker Punch onto Kyogre. He could also Scald, obviously, but I expect maybe he's going to want a Water Spout. He actually does go for the Taunt with Gengar. Kyogre is going to go launch that Water Spout off, but because I went for the Sucker Punch, I'm going to be able to hang on. Bronzong actually takes that nicely. It takes it with over 50% and does get a Gyro Ball off. Gengar being so naturally fast brings it down to its Focus Sash. But I still took a lot of damage there. You'd imagine if I just switched into Groudon, that would have worked out pretty nicely. Now, I'm still really scared of the potential Rayquaza switch in. In addition, Gengar is a Pokemon that can carry Skill Swap. We actually do see it use Skill Swap here, so that's something else I'm considering. Super, super scary and not too fond about that. But I don't go for the Sucker Punch here because I was actually expecting Kyogre to protect and maybe a switch out. So he's able to just get a free Scald off and knock out my Bronzong, which is super concerning. And I didn't go for a play rough onto Kyogre also since I was expecting a protect. Perhaps a potential misplay. Ironhead does pick up the knockout onto Gengar. That means the rain is eliminated from the field, but Kyogre now does have Levitate, which is super scary. So Luca brings in Togetic, a really fun Pokemon in this format, and I'm going to bring in my Kyogre. And it's definitely looking pretty rough on me right now. I know he's probably still got Rayquaza in the back, and at any point, if I don't eliminate his Pokemon and I don't play smartly, then my Groudon would just go down to a Scald, since it's most likely slower than Luca's Kyogre. So I don't have an option to bring in Groudon. If I bring in Groudon here, he can just switch out into Rayquaza in either Water Spout or Scald. So I don't want to play those mind games. This next one, I just go for a safe Protect and Water Spout play. I know that his Kyogre, given that it's revealed Water Spout and Scald probably doesn't have Thunder, so I can get some free damage off. Even if Togetic protects, his Water Spout's not going to be doing nearly as much as mine since he's already taken Sucker Punch damage. Instead, he actually goes for the Follow Me play, maybe trying to avoid a Sucker Punch or a Thunder, but instead I just go for a Water Spout. So I negate a turn from Togetic, which is really nice, and Water Spout does so much damage to both of Luca's Pokemon here. Now, at this point, it's really risky. It's like, do I stay in with Mawile or do I switch out into Groudon? I decide I'm going to make the read and switch out into Groudon here. Obviously, this is a risky read because if he switches out his Togetic into Rayquaza, then that's super bad for me. However, I figure, okay, since I'm going to Ice Beam this slot, if Kyogre protects, then I'm fine. Togetic, obviously, or Rayquaza is going to take an Ice Beam. Togetic can only set up Tailwind right now, and I'm naturally faster. If he switches out into Rayquaza, I'll get the Ice Beam off. He might knock out my Groudon, but then I can potentially Sucker Punch. But this is still really risky, so I'm really happy when he doesn't switch into Rayquaza because I get a free turn here. He goes for the Follow Me Scald play, which works out perfectly. His Ice Beam here just takes out the Togetic, and it's a 2-3 game in my favor. But Kyogre still has Levitate from the Gengar earlier, and Rayquaza is coming in at full HP right now. So I'm really scared because I don't know what item the Rayquaza has. I was thinking probably Life Orb here, but you know, this turn I'm thinking, okay, if I just protect Groudon, I can Scout Out a Protect, maybe just try to knock out the Kyogre. But Luca plays super smart here and just goes for a double Protect, negating any potential damage I can do. So my Groudon gets an attack off, or gets a Protect off, but obviously that's not going to do much, and Ice Beam goes into the Protect. So now I have to make the decision, do I stay in or do I switch out? I end up making the decision to switch out because my Groudon can't really touch his Kyogre, whereas if I can eliminate Rayquaza, then Groudon can come back in and just win against Kyogre. So I'm thinking, okay, I should be able to take a Dragon Ascent from Rayquaza unless he's like Choice Banded. Even if he's Life Orb, I think I should be able to survive, and I have to hope maybe either I'm faster, although, no, I think at this point, we know he's faster, so no, that wasn't correct. But I have to hope, basically, that he doesn't somehow double up into Kyogre, because if he does that, then I actually most likely lose the game. Although, if he Mega Evolves, which is what I was hoping for, then I could at least get Groudon back in, and he can't use Water-type attacks. He goes for Dragon Ascent, and Kyogre hangs out with 10 HP, but my heart is pounding right now, because if he goes for the Ice Beam or the Scald onto my Kyogre, or a Water Spout, I'm kind of screwed. So the Scald comes out, I'm really crossing my fingers, and it targets down Mawile. So I know I'm getting this Ice Beam off, I know I'm knocking out that Rayquaza, and that should be game because my Groudon just comes back in, and now Kyogre can't do anything. As long as I knock out through the Air Current, but I figured, you know, Rayquaza's taken the defense drops from Dragon Ascent, so I do eliminate Rayquaza, and breathe a huge sigh of relief there, because, you know, if he just doubled up on Kyogre there, he could have won, and I don't know, I think, like, you know, given that it was only 45 seconds per turn, it's a high pressure situation, you're definitely feeling the pressure, maybe not contemplating, maybe fearing a potential Protect from Kyogre and switching out into Mawile, but I had to play super ballsy 2 points in that game, and it worked out fortunately enough. I think, you know, maybe Luca could have just predicted a little bit better, since he kind of had the upper end on that matchup, but it's so hard to make those reads, honestly, and the beginning was really well played. He eliminated my Bronzong Kyogre, and typically this team relies on getting up Trick Room, because once I get up Trick Room, my Gravity and Precipice Blades away, and if I can eliminate Rayquaza through a Gyro Ball Precipice Blades combination, then that's super good, but obviously that was not the case, so that was really scary because he managed really well. I was able to predict the taunt, but one of the bigger misplays on my end was not knocking out Kyogre when I could have just gone for a play rough, and you know, he made the really good play of going for the Scald onto Bronzong to knock it out, and then I didn't get an attack off, and then Togetic came out for redirection, meaning I couldn't Sucker Punch anymore. So that was one of the closer games I had from the March International Challenge, so I just wanted to show you guys against that. And obviously Luca's a phenomenal player, having played at Worlds in 2012, 2013, and 2015, getting top 16 last year. So definitely a really fun match, and shout outs to him. He's a really good friend from Germany, and this was kind of a more casual thing back from March, so a couple months ago obviously. But yeah, I just wanted to go over some of the battle videos the next few days as we rev up for US Nationals, since a little bit less time consuming. But hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Leave a like if you did, and I'll be back with more content tomorrow. Alright, peace.